because I need romance. Right? Like, I got to make up a story to keep interested, right? So I don't want the baseball season to be over, and the division stinks. I mean, let's be real. This division is horrible. So I have to just thank my man Joe Z publicly, because the one thing I love at Parx, right, is I love coming here. I love it, right? And then I look forward. In fact, I look forward to this. It might be a gin and tonic every Thursday night to get my evening started with a smile. And my man Joe Z, one of the great account execs in Philadelphia radio history, he's the best. Comes over with extra lemon. I want to kiss him. He's the best. Anyway, I need romance. I do. I just need a story. I need something to help me out through this. Like, so I have no delusions on this Phillies team. Right? Like, if by the way, if Nola doesn't pitch like Nola of the past, then they got no shot, even in a bad division. Somebody else will win it. The Mets stink, but somebody else will win a division. But you can't. Nola has to do something. Has to. And so I admire the Tide Pod. Tide Pod's like, listen, I'm not wasting my time. He's in because he's a great sportsman, but he just doesn't even offer a story. Like, I'm thinking, all right, well, let's see, deadline. You go get a bat. You go get a closer, some sort of back-end bullpen help, and you try to chug your way through. We had a caller today, and he actually blew my mind. And the caller said, and he almost like tread all over my romance, my story. Of like, yeah, you get in the playoffs, and in the playoffs, who knows what happens, right? Like, you can always go down that road. And that's what we do as Philadelphia sports fans. But my man called this morning, and he says, listen, you really think this Phillies team is going anywhere? And I went, no, I don't think they're going to win the World Series or anything like that. I mean, I'm realistic that way. And he said, well, here's the thing. Maybe it's better if they sell. Because when you look at their farm system, it's so bereft of talent. It's so bereft of really big, good players that maybe it's better off that you are a seller and you don't go through this whole, charade of buying to win an NL East that you're not guaranteed to win and that you're probably not going to do anything even if you win it. So his point was, why not stock the minor leagues? Now, he brought up another good point, which was, as much as I hate the Mets and think the Mets are way overrated, they do have an owner who wants to spend money, and they do have a farm system that is filled with talent. So that's scary. That's a scary proposition. Atlanta's a good young team, lots of talent with the Braves. Washington's got some talent. The Marlins, as much as they're no good, they find talent. You know that. So what does it mean for the Phillies? So Tyler Zulli, my favorite Tide Pod, good evening.
Anthony, how are you?
So my brother.
Yes.
I admire your brain, which is why I give you the pod kind of thing, right? The Tide Pod. Because you don't mess around with story and fluff and all. You cut right through all the nonsense and you go, this is not a true playoff team, so why am I on the Tunis train?
Well, and don't get me wrong, and you said at the beginning of the show, of course I want this team to win. Of course I do, because not only does it make our job more
you're
fun.
You're a great fan.
Right, but,
this is not about fandom. This is about business.
Yeah, and I take a look at the shortcomings of this team, and what they do is what they've done all season and what they've done, since the All-Star break, which is win 3 of 4, which is great, and then you get swept in a 2-game series from a team that really was not fielding its starting active roster, and now you're at 3-3 since the All-Star break. You're right back where you started. it's not that I think the Mets are this all-time great team, because they're not, but I think that they have less of this up and down, almost consistency that the Phillies do, which is why, to me, that I don't think the Phillies are a very good team.
They're not, and you won't allow yourself any kind of, romance with it, like any story.
Well,
like that you deny yourself that because ultimately it's not real. It's what they call a JO.
Well, and I think that I would for a lot of teams, because I did it to myself even last Eagles season when things were trending downward, because I was one of the people that was saying, hey, they can still win this division stinks. They can still win the division. We'll see what happens from there, right? So I can do that. There's something about this particular Phillies team that I got to be honest, Ant, I truly don't enjoy this team. And maybe that adds like fuel to that fire of just analytically, objectively looking at them, because I don't find this team fun to watch.
You know what's funny about that? Andrew and Andrew loves them, right? Like the Chunas.
Oh yeah,
the Chunas loves them, as do I. But it's just like it's even more, it's like the Eagles to it. You know what I mean? Like he loves the Phillies, and I think we were talking about likability. And, I know Tyrone, and they were just talking about it with the whole, get the vaccination thing and all. This team doesn't have lovable characters, right? Like, I'm a big Harper fan. I love Bryce, right? I do. I love him. Who do you love on this team? And I don't hate them. I just think they don't have a ton of personality. That makes sense?
Yeah, I think so. They've got good players, and they're not a particularly good team. And, that's true. Like, you don't have a Rollins to gravitate towards. You don't have an Utley to gravitate towards. You don't have,
Ryan Howard.
Right, exactly.
But they don't even have the lovable guys like the Chuches and the Victorinos, like, the Worths. They're more like an acquaintance than like a best buddy. And baseball guys, like baseball teams are best buds, right? Like, think about it. The Phillies are with you 162. Like, I love Fransky, L.A., and McCarthy, T-Mac, more than anybody, any player. Would you agree? Or
no, I understand. Right, I understand. With the, like you said, there's not really anybody that I look at and I go, that's our guy, right? You know what I mean? Like, that's the guy to kind of center everything around.
Right.
And
I like JT. JT's, whatever. But I don't know. We don't know JT. The Chooch was like a lovable dude. Like, you watch the interaction between him and Halladay, or him and anybody. I mean, you love the guy.
Well, and, with that pitching staff, too, it's, heralded with all these great arms and a lot of accolades and some Cy Youngs and a World Series MVP. And the immense respect that battery had for each other, and Chooch with the pitchers and the pitchers back to Chooch was, I mean, and not to say that these guys don't respect JT, but it was like, you're right, it really was a brotherhood between Ruiz and that pitching staff.
Right, and listen, I like JT, so I'm not saying, but again, it was different. Now, again, they were a winning team, and I understand that, and that helps with likability for sure, so I'm not denying that. It just feels a little different with this group. It feels like, all right, like, go ahead, fellas. Like, they feel almost like acquaintances than best buds, and that's the best way I can describe it. So I think you would agree with that.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think it's totally fair.
All right. If it's my goal in life, for as long as you and I work together, I'm going to feed your soul. You need your soul to be nourished.
Little infusion of fun with one of these teams.
You gotta. Like, I love you to death, but I gotta muss your hair up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta learn a little romance.
We'll take
You're
the
too much money ball.
yeah, we'll take the calculated factor out of it a little bit.
me and Devon got to give you some flavor. All right, let's get to Nikki. Nikki, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Nikki?
Anthony, Tide Pod.
Where
Where do you want me to start with this?
Anywhere
with this
you
squad?
want.
I mean, first of all, I love your buddy and the caller Aaron. Okay, that's the last Aaron I love. Because the Aaron on the squad, I can't stand anymore.
I know.
I mean, he had to come out. He had the extra rest. He had all the shenanigans. I could care less all about the COVID stuff in the grand scheme of things. But you had the extra rest. You had to come out and go 6 hits, 2 runs, and that's it. Boom, shut them down. That's it. No bullpen, nothing. I needed eight innings out of it.
Like, Nikki, like, come on, man. Like, you got Matt Moore, or actually a bullpen game, which turned out
Right.
in Game 2 of that series. And the Yankees, it's a AAA lineup. Like,
The
that's not a good
Yankees
line.
sat everybody.
Yeah.
They had Benny the Bombs on the stage. Every bum on the bench, Benny the
Yes.
Bombs, they put out on that lineup because they said, you know what?
Yes.
We need to split this series. They conceded the Aaron start. They did. And what did he do? He coughed it up. Personality-wise, like you just said, listen, like you said, we don't dislike this team, but their personality makes Chase look like an extrovert.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody interesting.
Yeah.
Not one guy. Then you got a guy who gets on base yesterday, gets picked off late in the game. How do you do that? It's a tie game. How do you get a hit and then get picked off? You're not going anywhere, dude. Where are you going? You're not going anywhere. I mean, if it wasn't for the names, we would start to dislike this team. Seriously.
Yes. Yeah.
So we fell in love with, JT's here. We got JT and he re-signed with us. What's his name? He picked us. Bryce, he picked us. He could have gone anywhere. He picked us. He loves the hospitals here. But in the grand scheme of things, if it wasn't for the names and how much we loved them in the beginning, we would dislike this team.
Oh, that's a great point, man.
I got on the Tunis train. I did, and I put money on the Tunis train. Now, I backed up the
you
money.
actually invested in the Tunis train, huh?
I invested it before the second half started. Now, I protected myself to a little cash on the Braves, which I hate to do.
Right.
But I feel like
that's a Brad Feinberg move right there.
Well, I feel like somebody from behind is going to grab us now and bypass us. It's I don't know. Listen, your father, I know the vote's late, but it's just a matter. Listen, they should have just made an example out of him. They give him time served, but found him guilty just to prevent.
Oh, so you would have voted guilty for
I would've
Anthony
voted-
R. Gargano. My father, I put him on trial today for treason to the land of Philadelphia for sending me a fear to deer text and later a great victory or whatever it was, great win. Hell of a win text.
Right. I would have just gave him guilty, time served, just because you didn't embarrass him, but you exposed him.
No, I would never embarrass my
on the
father.
Philadelphia. You exposed him on the Philadelphia airwave.
He's out.
As somebody who's
Right.
listen. I know women. Listen, there's no question that women weaken legs. We
Right.
all know that.
Yes.
You just got to keep that inside the house. You don't have to let people know that the woman
like he was a
weakened
little
leg.
too gooey over the Bucks.
Little uppity,
and
with the
especially
fear to be
since
feared.
I didn't want anything to do. Like, I didn't want to watch him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even want to watch. I couldn't even watch the 2 freaking playoffs.
I know.
You
And
know?
then what was it? Tide Pod who put the Sixer jersey on?
Yeah, Tide Pod. This is what an alien the Tide Pod is, right? He didn't eat. Like, I go, dude, you got a Sixer jersey on? Yeah, why?
Yeah.
And then he goes, I go, dude, I haven't watched the game since they lost. And he went, I have. It was great basketball.
So he loved the
He's got
chicken
no.
nugget.
Know what it is?
Yeah.
He's got no emotion. That's why
He's the
he's a
Phillies.
pod.
He's the Phillies.
Right. No emotion. Like, listen,
Peace, brother.
I love you. See you, buddy.
Love you too. Bye bye.
See you, buddy. No, I love the Tyler Zuli. I love the Tide Pod.
I can give you emotion on your dad's ruling. I will say this: the fear of the deer was out of line.
Really?
That's
Yeah?
bad. That's bad.
Why? You would have voted guilty?
Yes, and obviously, I have vested interest in that series because my man that I work with 5 nights a week has vested
D-Money.
interest in that series. So of course, I had a son's rooting interest, but I tell Devon,
And you should have had his sons. You should have.
I as I told Devon, like I was watching it as a basketball fan because I didn't have, the fear of the deer thing. I'm out. I wasn't rallying the Valley either, though, right? So I was just watching it as
a
sport. Yeah, exactly.
No, you are a fabulous. Again, don't ever misconstrue this because I sing your praises. That you're a fabulous sportsman. But your problem is, you're a lot like Brad Feinberg. Your problem is you got no emotion. Like, you don't feel. You're all brain and no feel. You understand?
I bet you there's
no art inside you. You just too cut and dry, brother.
There's probably spots where that's a really good thing, and there's probably spots where that's a really bad thing.
You're right. No, mostly it's good. It really is. You know how to check your heart, your heartache. Unlike me, who I'm a sucker, right? I didn't watch the playoffs. I denied myself the playoffs because I couldn't watch them. I'm a sucker. Listen, that's smart. That you just, your business.
And I will say this: I struggled with the Eastern Conference Finals. I was checking in and out a little bit, but I struggled to sit and watch a full series. I watched a lot of the West, and I watched, obviously being here, me and Devon being here,
yeah,
and we watched as much, as much as we could.
Yes.
But it was, the Eastern Conference Finals was really the only hard one for me.
All right. Well, with Tide Pod, we do need to make sure that you are. It's my goal to get you a little more feeling, a little more vibe. All right,
let's do it.
A little more art in your soul, like great artists. They make you feel a certain way. Like I need you to feel a little bit. All
right, let's do it.
All right, Ty, you're the man. All right, coming up, the big brain on Brad to break down all that we got. So we'll do our baseball, get you some live picks coming up, maybe a little Olympic action, and then we go into some football futures. Football. We're live. It's Cuz's Corner from Parx Casino, Street Road, Ben Salem. The great Parx Casino in Ben Salem. 4 for 4 casino and sportsbook of choice. Make it yours. Yeah, go to parxcasino.com/PA. Promo code SPORTS. You'll get a risk-free bet up to $500. Got to be in PA. Got to be 21. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Brad's next. Cuz's Corner live on 97.5 The Fanatic.
97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey, it's Cuz, the Parx Sportsbook, the official sportsbook partner of the real sports fan. Baseball, golf, MMA, and more live in-game play-by-play betting. Lets you bet while you watch. No better way to bet than the Parx Sportsbook in the palm of your hands. The only sportsbook backed by the #1 casino in all of Pennsylvania. The best in live in-game betting. Bet the money line as it changes during the game with the Parx Sportsbook. Plus, bet on individual player performances as they happen. In baseball, bet hits, home runs, pitcher strikeouts every inning. In golf, bet on match winners, leaders after rounds, and more. Bet on spreads, parlays, props, teasers, and over-unders. New customers sign up right now. Get your first bet risk-free up to $500. Just download or click parxcasino.com/PA. Use the promo code FANATIC. See website for details. Got to be 21 in Pennsylvania. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's a new day, and it's coming at you fast. It could be the day your workforce doubles, or the day your visitors quadruple. With Comcast Business, you'll have what you need to take on every twist and turn, like the flexibility to control multiple Wi-Fi networks from anywhere, and the power of the nation's largest gig speed network, the one that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. Every day in business is a big day. We'll keep you ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get a powerful and reliable internet solution starting at just $69.99 a month for 24 months with a 3-year agreement. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to learn more about this offer. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second customers only. Early termination fee applies. Equipment taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Wi-Fi Pro Extra.
Hi, it's Tyrone, and I'm back again with Dr. Avidan Appel from Iron Mountain Men's Health.
Hi, Tyrone. You've probably noticed a lot of plants around town are wilting under this heat.
Yes, I have.
Well, talking to my patients, plants aren't the only things wilting these days.
I'm following you.
Every day at Iron Mountain Men's Health, we speak to patients with a variety of symptoms that you could just write off to the heat, including fatigue, trouble sleeping, low energy, decreased sex drive, and erectile dysfunction. But these are actually symptoms of low testosterone. And every day we help these patients with a customized program for their specific situation, one that's safe and effective. Most men feel better within a few weeks. We even offer financing now for qualified patients.
Great, Dr. Appel. Guys, get started on a treatment program today at ironmountainmenshealth.com, the leader in men's sexual health. Ask about their new financing options. That's ironmountainmenshealth.com.
We buy any car. We buy any car. We buy any car. Any.
Trading in or selling your car, truck, or SUV? WeBuyAnyCar.com takes the hassle out of selling in just 3 easy steps. 1. Get your free online valuation. 2. Drive to your local car buying center. And 3. Walk out with your check in as little as 30 minutes. So don't wait. Get your free online valuation now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Find out how much your car's worth at We Buy Any Car.
What makes the perfect workout? Being able to ride, lift, and stretch in one place with motivating instructors.
Y'all look so good out there, Peloton.
Classes that always work around your busy summer schedule.
Push, Peloton, you've got 20 minutes of opportunity on this ride.
Instructor-curated playlists for every mood.
Let's turn it up, come on!
Now what if you had it all? Right at home. The Peloton Bike. Nothing like working out from home. Visit onepeloton.com to learn more.
Get savings on Pro Essentials at the Lowe's Just for Pros event, going on now. Save on select appliance special values. Plus, save an additional $50 when you buy 2 or more appliances, each priced $396 or more. Find more savings throughout the store at Lowe's, the new home for pros. Must ask cashier to apply discount in store. Online must use promo code. Can't be combined with any other discounts. See Lowe's.com for exclusions and terms. Valid 7/15 through 8/4. U.S. only.
It's hot. It's humid. You wanted a relaxed pool party / barbecue. You got the human tsunami instead. Cannonball! Today, he's going for a world record splash that'll send inflatable swans into orbit. Dripping wet, you grab an ice cold can of Heineken. Watch out! When another man-child made wave embraces you. Incoming! It's okay, though. He's not splashing you. He's adding more refreshment to your refreshment. Heineken. Where others see annoying splashers, we see immediate refreshment. Must be 21 plus to purchase. Enjoy responsibly.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Trade pros. Whether you specialize in service or new construction, Ferguson knows firsthand how much work goes into a long day on the job, which is why we're committed to offering the products and solutions to get every job done right. With over 1,000 locations, an unmatched selection of specialty products, tools, and supplies, our pro pickup and same or next day delivery, you can trust that doing business with Ferguson will be the easiest part of your hard day's work. Visit Ferguson.com to find a counter location near you.
Hey, this is Anthony Gargano. Listen up. Love doesn't stop, and neither does Golden Nugget Jewelers. Why? Because Golden Nugget Jewelers is where Philly gets engaged. Largest selection of diamonds, clean and safe environment, major financing options, as well as unbeatable prices for name brands such as Verragio and Tacori. So you can find the perfect diamond without breaking the bank. It's time to show your partner how much you love them. Visit Golden Nugget Jewelers at the corner of 8th and Chestnut. Online, goldennuggetjewelry.com.
Philly's official Flyers station, 97.5. The Fanatic.
Oh, Tyler, you know, my man. Oh. It is Cousins Corner live from Parx Casino Street Road, Ben Salem. As we always like to hang out. And on the line with us, that's right, my man, the big brain on Brad, as he is every Thursday night, picking winners. What's up, Brad Feinberg?
How are you, buddy? Good to hear your voice.
Good to hear yours. And don't forget, you can catch more of me and Brad on the podcast, Pizza Bagel Podcast. So we drop 3 days a week, and we give you a lot of we've been pretty good so far in the 3 weeks we've been doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying to give good, detailed information, good information to everyone out there. Look, if you're going to bet these games, you might as well try to win them. Breaking everything down, giving you, the most information you can before you place in your wagers.
Plus, we like to go at it, too. We like to do our thing. We're even now on the Butlers.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep,
we're even. We had, I was all over Bucks, and then Brad comes back with the Marlins over the Nationals and his boy Alcantara. So it's a kind of like deep dive we take on all this stuff. So let me ask you, let's get it started, my man. Baseball, anything kind of you fancy tonight?
Yeah, Anthony, there's a couple things I did like. And look, I'm going back to the well here, and I'm going to go to the Phillies game tonight. Charlie Morton has just been pitching really, really well. And there's 2 things I like in this game, Anthony. I do like the Braves side. Right now they're minus 137 on Parx. Morton's just been pitching really strong. He's back to being the Charlie Morton of the last 3 or 4 years. He started off really slow. I don't know if it was just an adjustment thing going back to the NL or what it was. Maybe he was injured to start the year, but he's pitching really well right now. And Matt Moore, Matt Moore has had a few good games. He certainly has, but Matt Moore to me is a number 5 kind of starter. And every now and then he'll have a good game, and I could get pinched if that happens. But even if it does, I just think that I really think that Morton has it in him to shut down this Phillies lineup. Moore, last game did have 9 strikeouts in 4 innings, but he actually still gave up 6 hits and 2 runs in those 4 innings. Has a 5.25 ERA. So I do like the Braves, Anthony, and I'll tell you another prop that I do like. Right now on Parx, you can bet over 6.5 strikeouts for Charlie Morton. 6 straight games he's gone over that. I just like the way he's pitching. His last 39 innings, Anthony, only allowed 10 runs. I like Atlanta tonight.
Yeah, look at that. Listen, I can't really argue, buddy. I can't argue there. Not with that squad.
Look, and I'm going to give you an underdog I like tonight, Anthony. Look, Jordan Montgomery is not a great pitcher. Far from it. But you know what he is? He is serviceable. And sometimes serviceable can be good enough for us to cash our tickets. He's going against Taylor Hawk, rookie pitcher for the Red Sox. And here's what I like about the Yankees tonight. They're getting right now plus 125 on Parx. Look, Montgomery, 9 of his last 10 games, Anthony, he's allowed 3 runs or less. So, again, he's a professional. He's going to keep us in the game. And, versus an unproven rookie in Houck, look, I made that line closer to pick. You want to give me plus 125 with the Yankees team that just, swept the Phillies. Looks like they're getting some of their mojo back, maybe, perhaps. Again, I made this line closer to pick. I like Montgomery getting plus 125 over an unproven Houck.
Wow, that's good. I like that. I can totally see that. What do you think of that Giants and Dodgers? Bueller against DeScalfani. Yeah. Look at that. It's a good matchup, man.
Yeah, Anthony, I bet 3 games today. I just gave you the first 2, and I told you I like the Morton prop. But, yeah, I took under 8 runs in this game, Anthony. Listen to this. DeScalfani, 9 straight games of 3 runs or less, and in 7 of those 9 he's allowed 2 or less. And Walker Bueller has allowed 0 runs in 4 of his last 8 games.
Yeah,
Bueller's going in with a 2.37 ERA, Anthony, and DeScalfani's going in with a 2.78 ERA. I'm going to dare there to be 9 runs scored here. I don't think the winning team's going to have 5 runs. I think this is going to be more of a 3-1, 3-2 kind of game, just because both pitchers are in such tremendous form. Look, I really do like the under here. I really like the way both pitchers are pitching, and that's my best total bet of the night.
I like it. Let's think about it. With the deadline coming up and the trade deadline, we talk about it often. What are you kind of looking at to try to get a little value? Is there any teams right now that you think, have enough to pull off something? I mean, How are you approaching this deadline?
Yeah, well, look, Ian, I'm always looking every single day to see if I see value or whatnot. And I will say this: you remember last week on the show we gave out the Phillies at 7-1 odds on Parx.
Yeah.
Now they're down to plus 320 because I think we're seeing that this Mets team is quite vulnerable. Look, I do think that in the NL Central it's going to be the Brewers. I think in the AL West it's going to be the Astros. I think it's going to be a dogfight in the AL East between the Red Sox and Tampa. If you're looking for a long shot bet, though, Anthony, I really think Toronto. I think they have the chops to be as good as any team. If they're just a little inconsistent, but their plus minus this year in terms of how many runs they've scored versus how many runs they've allowed is elite. It's top 5 in the major leagues. That's a team. Again, I don't think they need much. They're about 4 games out of the playoffs right now. And when I look at their World Series odds right now on Parx, they're 25-1. That's a long shot bet. I actually wouldn't be shocked if they get in the postseason. I think they could beat anyone. They have the best, or first or second best lineup in all of baseball, and they have good pitching. This is a tough team. That's a team I would look out for.
That's interesting. I could totally see that. When you look at anybody, that are you crossing off guys with futures? Are you, now's the time I think where, it's almost like you're coming around the bend, right? So, are you still kind of messing around with the futures at all, or are you done?
Well, again, it's harder now, Anthony, to get the value. I mean, to me, the way I do these things, Anthony, I'm always trying to buy. I'll buy 7, 8, 9 teams, and I try to buy them all at their best value.
Yeah.
And and when they're not playing as good, trying to be a day ahead versus a day late. A perfect example being the Phillies bet at 7-1 to win the division.
Sure.
Again, I don't expect them to win the division, but at 7-1 odds, I think that was a good price to buy them at. And I'm always looking to buy a team for low point that I think potentially can emerge. Now, right now, I don't really see many teams, in my opinion, Anthony, that are quote-unquote out of the race that can emerge other than, again, Toronto right now. When I look at them, they're 4.5 games out at 48 and 44. That would be the team that I think potentially has the most value. Look, the White Sox are going to make it. The Astros are going to make it. Boston and Tampa are going to make it. We're just looking for that 5th team, and I think it has a chance to be them. And then when I go to the NL, look, I know Milwaukee's going to make it. I know San Francisco, the Dodgers, and San Diego are going to make it. So it just comes down to me, that NL East for that last spot. And, again, I think the Mets are very vulnerable on the ropes, ready to be knocked down. The question will be, can Atlanta or Philadelphia or maybe even Washington, I don't think they have enough pitching, can they get enough maybe to tread them on Anthony to sneak in there?
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I'm with you. Hey, we got let's switch gears a little bit before we get to the football. We got the Olympics coming up. And yeah. I'm curious how much, because it's a different world now, right? I mean, betting is legal, and now all of a sudden you got Olympic stuff. Like I got my man Euro John all over the Czech Republic to win that group, which actually includes the United States.
What, in basketball?
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting, Anthony. You know what they're saying, when there's smoke, there's fire?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, right now is the U.S. men's Olympic basketball team. I mean, this thing, again, I do not think they're going to win the gold medal. I really do not think they're going to win the gold medal.
Really? You're
yeah, I really
dubious.
do not. I do not.
Yes.
I do not. Yeah, now, the thing is, who do I think is going to win it? That's the problem for me. I don't know who that team is going to be. I don't think it's going to be the Czech Republic. That would surprise me.
No, just come out of that group. He likes them to come out of that group.
Oh, to come out of that group, right? Yeah, they're getting 14
but
right now.
But it includes the United States. That group. That's why that's.
Yeah, no, it's a gutsy pick. I will say this, Anthony. Again, I don't know what I think the most likely, which team is the best chance of beating the United States. But I think Australia certainly has a real chance. I think Spain certainly has a real chance. Slovenia, just because of Luka, I think has a real chance. I don't think the United States is going to do it. I think when you just keep seeing all these games that have been this close and they've actually lost some of them, again, I guess they just don't have the teamwork or they haven't played long enough maybe to mesh as a team properly. I don't think they're going to get it done. Now, I will tell you this: I have a couple people that I respect, that I trust. That this is their job. This is what they do full time, and they very strong release on under 46.5 medals for the United States.
Wow, really?
Something that, yeah, that's a very strong release.
Man,
under
I can't bet.
46.5
Can
medals
you
for the
bet
United
the
States.
under
Yeah.
USA?
Gold medals,
that's
gold
like
medals,
being a
under gold medals. Yeah, I know. Under gold medals, 46.5. Not
I
medals,
know,
gold
but
medals.
like I don't know, like I don't know if I can do that.
Listen, Anthony.
I mean, you're betting against the you bet against us.
Listen.
Oh, come on, Brad.
Everyone's happy. Let them win 46.
But that's traitorous.
Yeah, I understand.
I mean,
and
like
look,
to root against the golds. That's un-American. I guess it is American because you want to win, but come on. I think that's
Listen, I hear you. I'm just giving you information that I get.
I
from
know.
sharp
Listen,
people
I hear
that
you.
study this I have not studied the Olympics at the level that I get this information from other people. They study this 24/7.
No, these dudes. No, listen. I hear you. These guys are like that. You know, they're opportunists.
Yeah, so I'm just.
That's like shorting like an American stock. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're looking to make some money. I just go, oh, that's bad. I think it's a bad karma bet, brother.
All right, I'm not saying you got to do it. I hear you.
I was just shocked.
Yeah, no, but listen, you got to determine. You want to root for the USA. You want to make some money. It's your call. It's your choice. But but I do think, Anthony, the USA in basketball, I just don't think they're going to do it. And I'm looking right now on Parx website, Anthony. You can get plus 200. They don't win the gold medal. Minus 286. They do. I'm saying they don't. I don't think there's. I just really believe that. And if you really want to take a crazy shot and say they don't medal, getting 8-to-1 odds, I wouldn't call you crazy. I don't like the way they look.
Yeah.
And I don't think. Again, I flat out don't think they're going to do it. You want to give me 2-to-1 odds on it? I'm in.
Yeah, I could totally see that. I do. I could totally see that. Do you get involved
obviously
with
they're the most talented team? They're obviously the most talented team. Everyone listening, it's not that I mean, come on. Of course, they're the most talented team by a mile. But it's just not always just about. It's just always not that simple.
Yeah. No. I completely feel you. And just to clarify, because my man Euro John's like, I didn't say it. I'm just saying it's worth a few dollars. So he's saying it's worth the Czech Republic is just worth a small bet because of the big payoff. I don't want to misrepresent Euro John, but that's what he's saying.
I understand. And I do think USA, I'm looking right here, you could take getting 9-to-1 to come in third place to get a bronze. I think that's a very realistic outcome on something you want to give me 9-to-1 odds. Usually 9-to-1 is just never going to happen. I think that easily can happen. So, again, those are the things I'm looking at right now. I hate to say it, but I kind of like fading the U.S. basketball team.
All right. I hear you, man. I hear you. All right, let's talk a little football, all right? So let's, because I'm excited, dude. Come on, man. Are you ready? You feeling me, man?
I can't wait.
You feeling football? Seriously.
100%.
Now you and I have gone at it. Now let me just say, first, with the news about Cam Akers, right? By the way, Brad, we geek it out on the show. The Tampa Bay Rays are finalizing a deal for Nelson Cruz of the Twins.
What a great move. That is a team that, look, they can use someone like that. Nelson Cruz, you want to talk about a guy, I think when he's 86 years old, will still be hitting 300 with 34 home runs.
I know.
I mean, he's phenomenal. Great move for them. I give them credit. That's a really strong, smart move by a great organization that continues to do well, even losing their star pitcher, Tyler Glass, now.
Yeah, man. Well, check it out. Anyway, all right, you and I went at it over Cam Akers. The Rams are one of your teams that you like a lot.
I do like the Rams, Anthony, but again, I'll say this. I bet the Rams over 10 wins. I don't have a future on them to win the Super Bowl, but I did bet over 10 wins. I usually don't bet overs that high, but this was a rare case where I did do that because I just don't think they're going to go 9-8. Cam Akers, and I actually did make a long shot bet on him to lead the league in rushing at 70-to-1 odds, so that ticket has kind of been light on fire. But I think they can overcome it. I think Darrell Henderson, when I watched him last year, played well, Anthony. I'm sure they're going to add someone. I don't know who that someone is, but I'm sure it's going to be someone serviceable and decent. And look, this is just being honest. In today's NFL, Anthony, unless you're talking about a Dalvin Cook, a Christian McCaffrey type, Ezekiel Elliott back in his prime, Derrick Henry, of course, Alvin Kamara, maybe there's 4 or 5 guys you see really move the needle in terms of a season wins bet or how a Super Bowl future or odds to win the division. I just don't know if there's enough data on Cam Akers to make him one of those guys. I know you like him, and I know he played well, Anthony, but I think this team can overcome it. Just my opinion.
Interesting. All right, and then we battled over the AFC West, and I got to tell you, I was shocked at your opinion. Shocked, because you and I usually on the right are on the same kind of wavelength. But you're Denver love, and I think Denver's good, but you think Denver could beat Kansas City.
I do. Yeah, I absolutely do.
I don't.
I think Denver has a good team. I think that they actually have really good receivers. I think they have a really good tight end. I love Javonte Williams, who they drafted from North Carolina. I think he's absolutely going to be a stud for them. And they get back Bradley Chubb and Von Miller, their 2 best defensive players.
Yeah, we'll see what my man's got left.
I think this team can be good. Now, Anthony, let me make this clear. Do I think the Chiefs will finish with a better record? Yes. But I think, right now the Chiefs over-under is sitting at 12.5. Denver's sitting at 8.5. I definitely have a lean to the Chiefs under 12.5, and I definitely have a lean to Denver over 8.5.
All right. So I just – it's just funny because I when you looked at the division odds. Now, when you look at the division odds, right? Let's go NL East. What NL East team are you looking to win that division?
Wait, NFL or Major League Baseball, Anthony?
I said NFC East.
Oh, NFC East. Okay. And I said this, Anthony, I really do like Washington. I think they are the most likely winner in the division. Now, I will say this. I actually think this division, Anthony, is going to be improved. Washington right now is plus 260 on the Parx website. Again, to me, I think they're better than Dallas. But I will say this, Anthony. I think Philadelphia is going to struggle. But I expect Dallas to win over half their games, Washington to win over half their games, and I even think the Giants, I'm embarrassed to admit, will win at least 7 games this year and be an improved team over last year because I actually think they have some talent. I don't think this division is going to be the laughing stock it was last year, but I like Washington plus 260.
I agree with Washington. You and I agree. I don't see your Giants, though. I don't see that at all. I don't like the Giants a little bit.
Oh, I think they can win. I think they can win about 7-8 games and be improved. Last year they were like a 5-11, 4-12, I think kind of team. I think this year they could be a little closer to 500.
I mean, they still got to protect.
Because again, they're getting Saquon Barkley back, and they got Kenny Galladay. They did get some improved players there, and Daniel Jones' 3rd year. Obviously they'll know after this year it's either bust or go home with him. But I just don't think they're going to be more like that 4-12 or now 17-game season. I don't think they're going to be that 4-13, 5-12 kind of team. I think they're good enough to win 7 or 8 games this year.
Yeah, we'll see. What about the Eagles? Let me ask you a question because there's a lot of smoke. In fact, we had our man Adam Schefter, ESPN, talking a lot about Birds and Deshaun Watson. Now, if that occurs, how do you feel?
Well, Anthony, that's such a difficult question to answer because the million-dollar question is, if they do get Deshaun Watson, will he play in the 2021 season? Now, if he does, look, that changes everything. Everything I said throughout the winter because the Eagles, if they have Deshaun Watson on their team, you could start, totally making a case how with the top 5 quarterback, how this team could potentially even win the division. But without that, Anthony, I can't back the Eagles at all. Now, if they get Deshaun Watson, there still has to be a chance that he doesn't play, Anthony. Again, 22 cases hanging over Deshaun Watson's head. I mean, to me, that's a real thing. Look, this isn't like a Ben Roethlisberger situation where there was one case, one incident, and he's able to, quote-unquote, maybe sweep it under the rug a little bit just if things go his way. Here, Deshaun has 22 different cases he has to go his way. I will be surprised if he plays this year,
but they're also civil. It's also a civil thing, not a criminal thing.
But if I'm correct, Anthony, wasn't the Ben Roethlisberger thing also civil? If I'm correct, that was also.
Yeah, but there was an investigation. There was a police investigation in that.
Right.
So far, there's not a. I'm just curious. You might be right. It's a possibility.
Didn't Zeke Elliott get like 8-game suspension for a civil thing too?
Yeah, but what
Didn't-
was
I
it? It
think
was
when
a
he missed-
vi-
when
It
he-
was. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could be right. It could happen.
I think he got 8 games, and that was a civil case. I'm just saying, if he gets off without at least getting 8 games, I'd be stunned. But again, I don't pretend to know. I stay in my lane. I don't know. But to me, that would be the real. But it would certainly be a very interesting thing. How it would affect the Eagles' season wins? How it would affect division odds? How it would affect the Eagles' Super Bowl? Because if Deshaun Watson actually were to go to Philadelphia and play, it would change the entire construction of that division for sure.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? I mean, it really is. All right, give me the NFC North.
NFC North, Anthony, you know where I'm at on this one, brother. I mean, I am all in, and I do mean all in on the Minnesota Vikings this year. They're plus 250 right now on the Parx website, Anthony. I can't tell you how much I like this bet. It's my best bet of the NFL season. It's my favorite bet of the NFL season. I look at this team, Anthony. Look, last year they were 4th in offense. You know, Kirk Cousins, I think, is actually really underrated because people talk about how bad he is. He's really not bad. I'm not saying he's great, but I am saying he's certainly far from bad. And in my opinion, he's certainly a good enough quarterback where he can really win a lot of football games. Look at his stats the last 5 years. There's not many quarterbacks who have put up better numbers than Kirk Cousins. We know Justin Jefferson had the greatest rookie season in the history of football, 1,400 yards. Adam Thielen is terrific, 14 touchdowns. I think Irv Smith showed some promise at the tight end. We know Dalvin Cook is tremendous. But here's the thing, Anthony. This team last year had the most injuries of anyone in the NFL, and it wasn't close in terms of their defensive injuries, okay? They were missing 9 starters. They were missing everyone. They get back their superstar defensive end in Daniel Hunter. They signed Dalvin Tomlinson from the Giants. They signed Patrick Peterson from Arizona. They get McKenzie, the cornerback from the Bengals, who was a good cornerback for them, who left for free agency. They get him back. Anthony Barr comes back from injury. This team was missing their entire team last season. Yeah, they didn't have any of their guys.
Yeah.
And Mike Zimmer, we know, Anthony, is a good coach. So to me, this is a team, because of their lack of success, they'd come, Anthony, and listen to this, 7 straight years, top 6 in defense. Last year they were like 30th because of all the injuries. Now they're getting these guys back, plus Michael Pierce, who opted out due to COVID. I mean, this is a team. It's a whole new team. And we know the Bears aren't going to be good. We know the Lions aren't going to be good. Certainly a lot of uncertainty with Green Bay. I really like Minnesota here, Anthony. That's my all-in bet for this year.
How about the NFC West? Because I like the NFC West a lot. Like, that's a great division, man. There's a lot of quality teams. But now, we talked about the Rams with Akers going down. Do you see? I don't know. I mean, you see Seattle, or are you looking at maybe Arizona makes a jump? I mean, it's all about, I don't know, maybe you see Kyler Murray take that next step.
Yeah, Anthony, look, that's a great question. Look, this is a really tough division. I mean, you know, as you said, all 4 teams I happen to like here. Russell Wilson, I think for the last, Anthony, I could be mistaken, this 10 years, he's had 10 or more wins in 9 of those 10 years. That's how good he is. We know Frisco has as talented of a roster as in the league. The Rams just added Stafford, you know, with a really good coach. And I did bet the Rams over 10 wins, and I did bet Arizona Cardinals over 8 wins, Anthony. I like the fact they got J.J. Watt. I know he's not peak J.J. Watt. I get that. But adding him, and Chandler Jones didn't play the entire year last year, who's another dominant defensive player, probably the last 3 years been right there after Aaron Donald's the next best guy. So I do think, you know, this is an improved Arizona Cardinals team, but it is a really tough division. I like every team here. I think every team here is good. You know, looking at division odds, you know, I think it's tough because the Rams did lose Cam Akers, as you said, but I do think this is a team, Anthony. Even getting Deshaun Jackson is like a flyer kind of player with Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, unlike when he was on Philadelphia, where they needed him to be the man. Here on Los Angeles, he could just be a guy that comes in and makes some big plays because everyone's worried about Kupp. Everyone's worried about Robert Woods.
That's true.
I could see him being a sneaky, decent player for them. And the way McVay uses people and the way he uses players, I think he could just be a surprise under-the-radar kind of guy. Look, I agree. This is a really tough division. I could really see, honestly, Anthony, any of the teams winning it. But I told you the 2 over-unders I did bet were I liked Arizona over 8 wins. I think that team does not go 7-10. And I think the Rams will have a winning record, and I bet them over 10 wins.
That's pretty good. All right, one more. Let me just do the NFC South because I love Carolina. And I'm going to tell you right now, Carolina, not Tampa, wins the NFC South. All right? I'm
Yeah,
telling you
Anthony,
right now.
Yeah, look, I hope you're right because they are right there. They're probably my second or third biggest investment this year is on Carolina. That is, I bet them over 7.5 wins. Right now on Parx, you can get 11 to 1 to win the division. I bet them to win the division. I bet them to make the playoffs plus 275. I bet them to win the Super Bowl at 81 odds.
Did
I
you
bet them to
really?
reach the Super Bowl at
Wow.
41. I did. I bet Carolina every way, shape, and form. I think this is going to be an improved team that makes the playoffs. I really like. Look, I'm a huge Coach Rule fan. I know you know him better than anyone in the area, and I know how well you know him, and I know you're a huge fan of his too. And I just like what they've done. I really do. I think that Sam Darnold, in my opinion, and we'll find out. I could certainly be wrong, but I thought he was drawing dead in New York with that personnel, with that coaching staff. I don't think he had a chance. I don't think we know if he's really good or not good. We'll find out this year. Now that he has Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore and Christian McCaffrey around him and a good coach, I think everything's going to be different for Sam Darnold. I like what they've done on defense and how they've improved there. I think the kid they drafted 8th overall from South Carolina, Horn, is going to step in and help them in their secondary. Look, this is a team, Anthony, I like, and I do think Tampa Bay is most likely winning the division, but I did take a shot on Carolina to win the division and getting double-digit odds.
Very cool, man. Very, very cool. I like it. All right, let's do this, Brad. People want more, and we're going to be getting to a lot of heavy future NFL stuff, future college football, and we like to geek out on the Pizza Bagel Bets podcast. So if they want to subscribe to it, check it out. A lot of fun. We're going to be gearing up a lot towards football, and of course, but we'll have everything. A lot of baseball, and of course, the Olympics, and you name it, anything that's there. Golf, you name it, soccer, it's all there. You can follow you on Twitter. You've tweeted about it. It's at Brad's Best Bets. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you can follow me at Anthony L. Gargano. And, of course, at Parx Casino. You can check it out, all right? At Parx Casino and Sportsbook. They'll have it there, and you can check out the podcast because we have a lot of fun with it. Brad, great stuff, buddy.
You're the man. Good luck to everyone out there tonight. Thanks for having me on, Anthony.
Thanks, buddy. There he is, Brad Feinberg on the Comcast Business Hotline. And everything we talk about, you can bet right here at the Parx Casino and Sportsbook. Go to parxcasino.com/PA. Use the promo code SPORTS. You'll get a risk-free bet up to $500. You got to be in PA. You got to be 21. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, that's going to do it for Cuz's Corner. Is Devon there?
Hello.
My brother, I just want to hug you.
I appreciate it, man.
Virtual hug, baby.
Virtual hug back at you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
I was disappointed. I was on it for you and for Cuz, so we love you.
Yeah, and I appreciate it, man. It was a tough one, of course, but hey, he's been in the league for 3 seasons now. He found his way to a championship round, and it was very, very close. So proud of what he did.
What a season! You got to be immensely proud of him. What a great season.
Yeah, it was fun, man. Made 2 trips out there for the playoffs and snuck those in without people knowing.
That's awesome.
And,
that's beautiful.
But it was fun. It was good to see him on that stage, and we still got a long career. So hopefully get back there again.
I love it. Well,
Thank you,
listen, have a great show, brother.
Appreciate it.
We'll be listening. We love you. You and the Tide Pod, all right?
Love you back, man. Thanks.
Thanks, baby. All right, everybody, have a great night. Be careful. We love you. We'll see you in the morning.
97.5, The Fanatic.